He's holding his finger wrapped up in an old t-shirt in vicious pain. He's sweating bullets. There's discoloration. He's leaking. So I'm rolling down the highway trying to get a price on 40,000 square feet, and my truck catches fire. Unbelievable. And that's not even the worst part. Let's talk about the opportunity here. 18 years old, haven't booked a job in a while now, coming off the Riaz Ali success, and we're talking an RV park just south of Calgary, 185 lots by Alcon Electric. They had put in new electric and they needed sod laid in every one of those lots where they did the electrical work. Talking big opportunity for a guy that has had trouble now after the big money job, not booking. I mean, at 18 years old, 40,000 square feet and a $30,000 job. Oh, that makes up for a lot of lost momentum, especially at 18. Get you that confidence back. But let me tell you, that truck catching fire. Like, I'm literally on the phone with Karen at Manderley. She's the dispatch girl at the time. And I'm like, literally, she's giving me the delivery price to south of Calgary because I've never got anything to south of Calgary. And my truck's overheating and some of the material on the hood, whatever, catches fire. That's not an omen. I don't know what is. I guess I was being told pretty quickly that this job is going to test me a little bit. So I did get the fire put out and I limped that truck back. And 2 days later, I got together with my uncle, my buddy Chris, and my dad, common theme, and I took my dad and Chris out down south to Alderside. We looked at the job. They were a little surprised, and on the whole way back, they were trying to talk me out of it. And so we meet my uncle for backyard beers. My dad doesn't drink, but you know, we're all sitting and talking. But the overall resonation, the overall energy was that was resonating was, Jay, are you crazy? You gonna take this job on? We can't do this. What are you talking about? How are we gonna do this? You've done like 3 jobs on your own. You're nuts. And I believed him. You know, I thought to myself, well, damn, maybe I'm right, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're right. You know, So I walked out to the alleyway and I gave Shane from Alcon a call. I told Shane, I go, man, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think I can do this. I'm talking to my dad. I'm talking with my buddy that's going to do the job with me. He thinks I'm pretty young for this, man. I don't have the experience. I don't want to do a bad job and this and that. And he stops me. And I'll never forget this. Like, I mean, this is like, your life is at a fork. He told me, he goes, I believe in you. I think you can do it. I think this is an opportunity for you, a young guy opportunity like the one I got when I was younger. And I think that you'll regret it if you don't take the job and you don't do it. We already decided we want to go with you. We met you. We believe you had the confidence to do this job. So I said, okay. All right. You know what? You're right. I don't want to miss this opportunity. I don't want to waste this opportunity. So I take on the job. 4 phases, 185 lots across, I think it was mid-August to the end of September. I don't know my elbow from my ass of managing a job that big, and we're talking a lot of trucking in and out, hundreds and hundreds of yards of soil, not put strategically, which then caused us to have moving it by hand and renting skid steers to move it and labor overages and just a total mismatched, disorganized mess of a 4-phase job where we're bleeding money every day on this by inexperience, logistics, job flow, things you only learn by doing. Well, boy, did we ever learn them on this. I mean, this was just an absolute monster of a job south of Calgary, 40,000 square feet for $30,000. And I learned pretty quickly, your money goes fast when you don't make the right kind of decisions. You make mistakes. I mean, let's be honest here. At the end of that job, I owed my buddy Pat $4,000. I couldn't pay him. We went over budget so bad. Now, money aside, that really wasn't even the worst thing that happened. Let's paint the picture. Start this job. I'm in the truck getting a price on sod. I'm feeling hopeful. Fast forward to halfway through the project, and I'm sitting in the truck, and I'm not getting a price on sod. I got Mike Rafferty, whole 9 yards Mike, sitting beside me. He's holding his finger wrapped up in an old t-shirt in vicious pain. He's sweating bullets. There's discoloration. He's leaking because he just almost cut his finger entirely off. How do you do that? Well, it's pretty freaking easy, actually, if you're not being safe with the stuff you do. And Mike is a wonderful guy and a wonderful friend of mine. Just absolutely great football player and a guy I used to love working out with. But Mike just loved getting the job done. One day we're at that job site and he couldn't find the knives. Couldn't find another knife. And he was trying to get ahead on the cutting of the sod. So he took a blade out of the blade pack. Those are things that go into the knives. And what he did was he decided with some tape, some duct tape, and a little bit of a gum package, like XL gum. He folded the gum package up and he slid the blade in and then he taped it up. And he thought, I'm genius. I can still cut sod like this if I pinch it. Now, the only problem with that is he had the blade, the sharp end, upside down in the gum pack. And so when he went to cut the sod, the serrated end was here, and it dug in right here on his finger. To the bone. Bone-chillingly bad mistake. We're talking goosebumps type dripping going on, just like my signs. And now we're rushing back into South Calgary from this RV site. I'm just freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I hope he keeps his finger. I hope he keeps his finger. I hope he keeps his finger. He's just going back and forth like this, going, like he is like mad from the pain because he went right to the bone. And we get to the South Health place over in Sundance, and they get him in right away. And the doctor's looking at him. And I remember sitting in there with him in the waiting room, and the doctor's like looking at it, and you can see the white. And I'm not getting graphic with it, but he had severed some stuff like his nerves. I think there was a worry about his tendon. Long story short, that put Mike on the shelf for the season. And he did not lose his finger. He just lost a lot of blood. And he did lose the feeling in the tip of his index finger on his right hand. But they were able to repair it. They got him into surgery. And thankfully, but I've never seen a cut that deep in my life, and I don't ever want to see a cut that deep again. That was, amidst everything else. Like, you're in this, we're all young guys. We're trying to do this great job. Trucks are catching fire. We're going over budget. We're cutting our fingers up. Like, what are we doing? Talk about the adversity. Talk about the BS. It would have been so easy when you were going over budget and you knew you weren't going to make any money, and all of these momentum was fighting against you, all these moments, the momentum was fighting against you. Oh, it would have been easy to walk away. It would have been easy to walk away. But we didn't. I didn't. We all took pride in trying to do this job. And the thing about it was, rather we were going to make money, this guy believed in me. When he told me on the phone he believed in me, I had to believe in me, and I had to be a man of my word. I said I was going to take it on. And so no matter the strife, no matter the adversity, no matter the tumultuous things that happened during this project, for a young guy trying to figure it out, we stayed and we finished it that fall. We got it done. And amidst all of the BS and all of the learning the hard way, and that's what it was, the hard way, the whole way, they loved the job. And the people at the RV park loved us. They thought we did a wonderful job, and they were very happy, and Alcon was extremely happy, and we could have done a lot of things better. I think you'll see, if you know the Sodfather, we're pretty particular about details now. It's because of the things that I've been through and our crew has been through. But these folks were so happy, genuinely happy. And it would have been really easy because we knew we weren't making the money to walk away. That's a character thing, and that's a commitment thing. That's a pride. You take pride in your work because when you set out, you got to go and do your absolute best no matter what. If it's a 10-roll job or a 1,000-roll job, an install, whatever, you need to treat it with the same amount of pride. Take pride in your work. If you don't love what you do and you can't take pride and do it for, like, you got to do it for the love of the game. You know, I wanted to deliver because remember, my feeling inside was I'm chasing that high from people being happy with their lawns. That's the end game. I wanted the money. I wanted to make the money. I needed the money. But when I wasn't going to make the money, I had the choice. I could be like all the other greaseballs and people that have a bad name in this industry and give our industry a bad name. And if it's not in it for me, I'm going to walk away and leave someone high and dry and leave people high and dry. Or you can choose to stick it out. Stick it out and do the right thing. And doing the right thing, sometimes it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you got to stick through it and you just got to do what you think is best in those moments and always try and stay true to your word. Nobody can foresee or foreshadow the things that are going to happen in life, okay? But experience gains perspective. And so when I look back at this job, it's very simple to me. We didn't get paid in a lot of money, but we got paid in experience. And the experience was invaluable. There was a lot of hardships in this first year of me figuring out how to have a sod business. And you only learn by mistakes. And so the beautiful thing in all of this is that after this job, they were happy with what we did. And it gave me the confidence moving forward in everything I did. No matter what kind of jobs I did, if I went to go do a quote afterwards, I had been through the war of this job. I had seen so much stuff in my young age of 18 that when I went up to a normal house and did a quote for a front and backyard, you could feel the confidence and the calm that I had. So this job, albeit very, very disastrous, was absolutely the fork in the road. And I had a choice multiple times, but I fought through everything. I think I made the right decision because it helped me booking. I would be 18, 19, 20, and when I go to book other jobs, in those days, doing those quotes, I had the confidence of a 30-year-old, and it showed because I had skin in the game, and you cannot fake skin in the game, and you cannot fake experience and perspective. And so that was incredible. And I remember when that job was done, I went back and I sat down on the balcony, the little walkout balcony, my little basement suite at 55 Prestwick Park, relieved that Mike did not lose his finger, and relieved that my truck didn't burn down, and relieved that we didn't make a complete fool of ourselves. And I sat out on that deck and I thought about the whole year and the year heading up and put on maybe a little Lane, but at that time I was playing a little Junior Gong, Damian Marley. And I sat and reflected, and I looked at the quote sheet that I sent them, which was, a paper quote still. And that was a crazy year to think back on. And we're going to talk about in the next one, 55 Prestwick Park. I think it deserves its episode of how I went about doing the jobs and how I went about quoting people in a little basement suite with no internet, no printer, nothing. And we're going to talk all about that in the next one. So a disastrous job, but an invaluable experience that you can only get by kicking against the pricks and walking through the fire. And that's exactly what we did. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, do all those things that they always tell you to do. My name is Jason Dyler. I am the Sodfather, and we are the gold standard in green. See you next time.